real quick. Hop over to some over here just so I can get a read on the audio levels. Actually, doing an items video probably isn't the best idea for that. I need something with activity going on. Actually, I need to pull the microphone closer. This is a microphone primary type shit. Oh, Cameron's live doing that. That's interesting. I'll check that in a minute. Okay.
It's Monday.
Let's get.
And there's a lot to get over, so let's just cut the BS and cut right into it. Today we're sponsored by Gamer
Okay. Okay. Blah 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 blah.
Sup.
Okay. I think that'll be good for volume wise. Let's see. Let's do YouTube exception. No, not this. Fuck. Volume wise, let's see.
Right into it. Today.
Okay. That should do it. That'll be a good volume. Sorry. Alright. Give it a minute. And then we'll get started, because this is like ridiculous at this point. This is insane shit. I watched this video. I think this video went 7 hours ago. Dude. What a fucking shit show. What a turn of events. I can't even imagine how this guy could even fathom that this is coming off even a little bit good. I don't know. This is ridiculous. But it's pretty funny. I also like it because I was starting to check out. I was starting to check out on all this shit mentally. But right when I'm about to get out, they drag me back in by my feet, kicking and screaming. I see this video pop up or somewhere. I think somebody posted about it, and I just had to watch it because number one Idubbbz hater pretty much since Anissa came around. So, it's time. It's time to see how he continues to throw away everything he ever built.
Now, thankfully for me, I have the majority of this video already recorded. This is just a little addendum. I think an addendum is something that you put at the end. But this is a
Hold on, 1 second. Alright, fuck. I'm a fool. Alright, I'm gonna start this whole shebang over again. Had a little bit of an interruption right there, but it's time to fucking fly. Alright. So today, Idubbbz he's back in his lane. He's back to Idubbbz Complains, right? Or so some would think. But judging by the name of the video, title of the video, and having watched it a little bit earlier, it is, he's still fully fucking lost. It's still atrocious out here. He's, gone off the deep end when it comes to making videos that are so totally, ridiculously ironic and stupid. So, I think there's no better way to go about this than to just jump right into it, because this is a meaty boy. It's full of nice, good moments.
Now, thankfully for me, I have the majority of this video already recorded. This is just a little addendum.
It didn't help. The addendum, the pre-recording, none of it helped in the making of this video. It actually probably made it way worse.
I think an addendum is something that you put at the end, but this is a predendum. I'm throwing in a little predendum. Something that I've been struggling with for a long time on YouTube is concern trolling. The thing that I really struggle with is not identifying concern trolling. The difficult part of it...
You struggle with it because you do it. Because now you've converted into somebody who does it all the time now.
Is when there are...
It's not concern trolling when people tell you that your wife is Yoko Ono and that you've become a shell of your former self, dude. It's called a reality check.
Are people who have authentic concern out there, and the concern trolls are concerned over the same thing. So I'm like, oh fuck, I'm giving in to the concern trolls by addressing, you know, this segment of the population or this segment of my fan base who have genuine concerns. So I don't want to let the trolls inhibit my ability to communicate to my fans or people who are...
Fans? I think that's few and far between at this point. I think it's people who used to be fans and people who say they're fans until they turn on you, just like they've turned on everyone else that they've come in contact with. Your fans right now used to be H3 fans about a year ago, and they're gonna chew you up and spit you out the same way.
Confused out there. So I want to talk about Creator Clash. I want to talk about the structure of the business and how it's changed over the years, and just sort of put to rest any of the lies that are being spread out there about Anissa, about me, and about the event.
Don't worry, I'm not going to skip to 7:55 to avoid Creator Clash talk. I love it. I remember when it first was announced, I booted up a video as fast as I could. Oops, hit the mic there. I booted up a video as fast as I could to get something out there because I thought it was so hilarious that they were running it back one more time. And it seems that has backfired almost completely 100% entirely for Mr. Idubbbz here.
My main incentive for sharing this information is that I have felt extremely handcuffed by Creator Clash these past years because I'm...
Handcuffed? It's the only thing that set you free from, like, almost total annihilation via ridicule, dude. The fact that you donated some money to charity and got your shit rocked was the only thing keeping you in somewhat good graces until you fucked that up last time.
I'm not an expert communicator, and I don't know how to convey things, not over-communicate, not do all these things that potentially put the event at risk and put other people at risk. And that's kind of why...
Sorry if the audio was fucked up there.
I wanted to step away from this event. It feels like it's inhibiting my ability, like the business side of things, like inhibits my ability to communicate openly and effectively, especially when there's so many people counting on me to, you know, do that well. So it's a lot of pressure, and now that Anissa and I have stepped away from it, I want to...
You've been ousted. You had no choice at this point. With how much bad PR you brought to this event, you had no choice but to leave. It's not like you stepped away. You lit yourself on fire out front of the Creator Clash Embassy headquarters and had to be extinguished.
I want to just clear the air because I don't feel that same pressure that I did when I was part of the event. If you look into charity events, they come in so many different shapes and sizes, and there is really no format that is completely obvious for creator boxing plus charity. For the first...
Remember that. Remember him saying that there's no format.
Creator Clash, we had the business...
It comes back and it's really funny.
Business model of after everyone has been paid for, you know, the expenses of the event, all profits go to charity. That was the business model, and it was successful. Thankfully, it worked out the first year. Now, some people will be critical of one of the costs being parties for Creator Clash 2 and actually Creator Clash 1, because
Yeah, that's ridiculous. If you want to throw a big fucking party, take it out of your own dime. It shouldn't be an expense on the charity. If you're formatting it so that the charity pays out of the benefits, out of the profits from the event, then how about you make sure the event has the best chances for success?
that's where we got
At your own cost. I know it's unfathomable to think that it should come out of your pocket for anything if you want to do a good deed, but
the idea from. It was very successful for Creator Clash 1, or the event was successful. We don't know if the party worked to encourage people to promote the event, but
if the party worked to get people to promote the event the night before, nobody was buying tickets. Anyone who wanted to watch it already had bought their pay-per-view. Your promotion has been atrocious since the very beginning, and using a party the night before where people are going to post on their story that they're at Creator Clash's gala, that's not going to get people buying tickets.
that was the idea. You get a bunch of creators to show up to a fucking hotel.
It's a miracle the first one made money. It's almost wrong. It seems like something glitched, something went wrong for it to go so right.
The night before their fight, and they're going to post about it on social media, and the internet will be abuzz. And the event was successful, so we thought that that strategy of having, you know, a little hubbub, a little hullabaloo before the event and after the event was a good idea. So we ran with that strategy again, hoping that creators will post about it and be excited about it.
Hoping? Why don't you just tell your fighters to post about the fight? Why aren't you just telling them to promote it? Not a single Creator Clash has had good PR coming out of its fighters. Not one. Not yet, at least. Maybe Creator Clash LA will be able to rectify that issue, break the cycle. But it's starting to feel like they have no idea how to get people to promote this thing. As if charity enough isn't a reason.
About it and buzz will be generated, but it didn't happen. Or maybe it did happen, but it just didn't sell tickets. I would cross that.
Yeah, the night before, you're probably not selling tickets. People that want to see it in person need to buy those tickets a month minimum in advance, especially if they need to travel. And anyone who's watching a pay-per-view, if they weren't excited about it before, they're probably going to be part of the pirate squad you were complaining about so much.
That off my list as a learning experience of, well, if you do this strategy, you either got to force people to post about it, or you have to fucking, I don't know, not do it. You gotta make sure that people are slapping each other during the weigh-in. That's probably what I'd change it to, because it's cheaper, you know? It's a lot cheaper if people slap each other during the weigh-in.
Yeah, I'd say making it more affordable for a charity event to be profitable, I'd probably say that might be a more beneficial way for your charity to make, donate to charity.
In. I just wasn't about that. I was just like, I don't want this fake drama shit. For the second Creator Clash.
So you created the most real drama you've been in years. That is fantastic.
We used the same business model. This time we increased the budget, we had more fighters, we had a bigger arena, and more expenses in general. As a result of that, there were a lot more costs, and our ticket sales did not make up those costs. It seemed very obvious that this was not the way to run the charity boxing event. We told our business partners, we are not going to do this event again unless it can be promised to us that there was a way to guarantee money for charity. And the business model that was
and to guarantee a lot of money for your pocket
presented to us was what we're.
That's another stipulation they put up just to, just don't want to promote that so much.
Enacting, or what we did enact this year with Creator Clash 3, and that is the for-profit side of the business is unincorporated with the charity aspect. So the charity partner is its own fundraiser that we sort of like push people to, before, during, and after the event. I think where some of the confusion is that many people don't understand how charity events operate, because to be honest, they're all very different. And with something like a charity boxing event, there's a lot of money that you have to front to put it on in the first place. And if you have an investor, you're able to do that. That investor is going to want money, they're going to want profit, but that at least gives you the initial funds to put on the event. There are other charity initiatives and events that allow people to spend money for a ticket and immediately get a product, and also their money goes to charity. Those are usually big fucking conglomerates, giant companies that can afford that cost because they're selling you other things. Some people have an idea of charity events as being like a strictly altruistic thing where everyone is just sacrificing their time and energy and money for the charity. To put on a boxing event costs a lot of money, and
Then don't put on a boxing event. Then why did you need to put on a boxing event? Because your OnlyFans wife is so totally horny for every person that fights possible. If you can't promise that the charity event is going to donate to charity, then don't do boxing. Do something like you did after Creator Clash 2. Just do a live stream where you donate all the proceeds to charity.
And other examples like GDQ, Games Done Quick, is a charity event, but they're not like a charity themselves. You know, they run a business and they partner with a charity and they fundraise for the charity. They send people to the charity, and thankfully they have, multiple.
See, that's the difference between what you and everyone else has been calling Creator Clash this entire time and what GDQ does. Isn't the charity themselves, yet you keep calling Creator Clash a charity event. You're conflating the two and making it almost purposefully confusing so that you seem more altruistic than you are. If you knew this the entire time, then don't call it a charity event. Call it a charity-associated event. Call it an event tied to a charity, but it's not a charity event in itself then. Fuck.
Ways of being paid and paying the people who are running the show. That might be through payment from the charity. That might be through their own Twitch stream or merchandise. I just know that for a charity boxing event in the form of Creator Clash, there aren't too many ways to recoup your money other than ticket sales. And that was obviously the biggest challenge of the previous two events. When it does well, awesome. But when it doesn't, it's a huge problem.
Then how about you promote your event? Then how about you put even a single ounce of effort being the main counsel for your fighters to get them to promote the fights? Like, it seems like they only have been blaming the fact that it's gotten into drama for Creator Clash 2 and Creator Clash 3. But if there was more promotion coming out of the fighters, other than them being the only informants for the audience when shit goes wrong, maybe more people would have a positive view on the event. I keep seeing these clips of the Minecraft YouTubers that are fighting in it, and they're giving updates like they don't even know they're in the event. It's ridiculous. And the only other things we're hearing is bad shit about the event. So what are we supposed to assume? When people aren't hearing about the event in a meaningful, positive way, with fighters saying, "Ooh, look at this, I'm training, ooh," then what is the point? Are they even linking the charity in their bios of their videos or anything? Like, if they're going to be associated with this, you have to put an ounce of effort into making sure that the word gets out so that the charity makes money and doesn't lose $250,000. It doesn't just show up because you put on the event. You spent the money. Now make sure that you get your money's worth out of it. It costs more than just getting punched in the head a couple of times. It takes effort. It takes months of lead up. It takes a lot of work. And it seems like you put all the work everywhere except for where it would have made money.
It remains to be seen whether the for-profit business side of the event will be successful. But the main controversy, I would say, is that it was revealed with the change of ownership that Anissa and I, because we're 1/3 ownership of Creator Clash the business, that we were getting 34% of the profit share. We weren't anticipating this event doing.
That was definitely the new owners talking shit that was definitely them deflecting a lot of the blame back onto Ian and Anissa, and I think that's pretty deserved because they fucked up the whole thing this year. They are the 100% reason that it is completely fucked. They had taken a step back from all the organizing to purely be the fighter liaisons, and the only promotion for the fight and the event was Israel-Palestine, was just the stupidest fucking YouTube drama to be happening over a real holy war, and that was the only updates anyone got about Creator Clash, the only thing you said about Creator Clash in all the time that it's been building up since February.
Well, like, we wanted to do well enough to pay back the investors, of course. So that's one of the reasons that we were, okay with the profit share thing. But another part of it as well is that the contract wasn't structured in a way that the profit share could just directly go to charity. It was told to us, like, you could just donate your portion of the profit share to charity after the event. So we were like, okay, fine. Now, I know some people will find it hard to believe that Anissa and I were just going to give our portion of the profit share to charity. There's nothing...
Yeah, you are fucking broke, evidently. It's really easy to believe that that would be the case, that you would keep a sizable chunk of that. I'm sure you would make your very flashy charitable donation in the end, but it would probably take a little bit of convincing to get you to pony up all that money, all 34% of the profit. Yeah, it's hard to believe.
I could really say to, I think, convince them otherwise. It was up to our discretion at the end of the day, and if you don't believe us, I can't say anything that'll change your mind. I guess my only appeal is that year one, we made a bunch of money for charity, and I just got the fighters' pay like everyone else. In year two of the event, we definitely got nothing. So yeah, having said all of this, I know that there's probably a lot of you out there who honestly don't care, and you're just like, you want to see boxing, or you just want to see regular videos. I get that. For my soul...
Regular videos, what, the Cheez-It rating? That's what people are here for. I don't think all 7.03 million people down here at your subscriber count have been really turning out for your new normal content. I think something needs to kind of shift in your brain back into gear before people start showing up like they used to.
I needed to communicate it. So yeah, that's a big relief for me. I mean, I'm very happy that this year money is being raised for charity, and I'm glad to know that it's already more successful than.
That's not okay. This is also ridiculous. This was a Hassan Piker stream talking about H3. This wasn't Creator Clash donations. 200,000 of this is directly from a completely separate thing. This is a very misleading. You showed up for 1 hour out of 9 of a live stream where fucking Hassan, Diddy, whatever, Piker talked shit and made ridiculous points for 9 hours straight and screamed into the void. And then you sat in the cuck chair and disassociated while you got dissected. Every moment that you were on that screen and actually worth looking at, people have picked it apart and figured out that you are just sad, man. And none of this money is thanks to you or even Creator Clash at this point. This was all due to Hassan being a psychopath, really.
In year two, mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned.
Well, mission accomplished, that's not even as much as you lost in year two, so you're still almost breaking even if you don't count your pity me and throw ketchup on my face live stream after Creator Clash 2.
I responded to his personal attack with a joke, and then he hit me with a concern troll.
From the right, there's a lot of concern trolling around small businesses.
This is the most boring kind of concern trolling.
Get Snoop Dogg and Tupac the concern troll.
Oh, it's your daddy, dude. It's your daddy. He's here.
Concern trolling. You need to address this issue, man, because you are offending the trans community. Shut up.
That is such poor concern trolling.
Lindsey Graham did a lot of concern trolling about this.
His concern trolling is empirically wrong.
Oh, dude, this is like the hardest concern trolling I've
Whoa, you're not supposed to use clips of this guy. This guy's the bad guy now. If you use clips of this guy, you are evil. This man's this is the baddest of the man. This is the devil right here. Why are you using a clip of this guy?
Never heard of my entire life, dude.
You don't answer to the concern trolls.
Concern trolling about homeless people.
This guy's an example of a concern troll.
Concern trolling about fairness.
They sit on the sidelines and they concern troll.
It's basically concern trolling.
But a lot of people do concern troll.
Concern trolling.
As concern trolling.
Concern trolls.
Concern troll. Concern trolling.
Concern trolling. Concern trolling.
Quintessential concern troll.
That was some expert concern trolling.
Yes.
I've been working on my laugh lately. I'm trying to get...
Because you've lost every ounce of humor in your being, you need to figure out how to laugh again. You forgot. You spent so many years crying in the corner.
Get it to a level where it's contagious. I haven't figured it out. I'll let you guys know when I figure it out. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Idubbbz Complains. In the last...
Bitchin' and whining time, boys. Let's go! This has nothing to do with the recent controversies I've been getting into. This is completely isolated from that. That doesn't exist. I'm not the biggest piece of shit I've ever met. This is just about, you know, good old-fashioned, this is some shit I saw on the internet and I'm gonna complain about, for sure.
Last couple of videos, I got a lot of comments. Now, I don't have time to read all 150,000 comments, but I also don't want to let down my audience, you know? I want them to know that...
Let's see. You chose the wrong side. Hansai Piker is a voice of reason. Nah, that ain't right. I absolutely hate clients' content, but you're also a shell of your former self. There's no better expression. Not a Ethan fan, but dang, this is cringe, man, especially with those so incredibly base. Commenting so I can prove I was here. Look who's getting desperate again. This is, you're showing your L's out here, man. This is fucked up. You shouldn't be showing people this. These are very mean comments.
I hear you.
This is, I needed this now. Everyone's claiming Ethan's pro-Palestine while he's married to blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right, dude. This is ridiculous.
I hear your concerns, and I'm listening. I've put all 150,000 comments into the AI.
Damn, got a whatever. We are so fucking back. I'm the one who's getting cokehead vibes by Jesus Christ.
And I told it to condense it down into a singular comment that is representative of the whole. My hope is that the one comment will perfectly represent a small fragment of everyone in the audience, so everyone is equally happy. Okay, hold on a sec. So I'm kind of lost. Who's Hassan again? But hey, it's cool to see a content cop after all these years. Still,
It's cool. It was, I mean, for a split second when you first announced it, it was exciting. Everyone was excited. Everyone was ready to see some quality come back. Everyone was ready for the grand revival, and it didn't pay off. It really didn't pan out exactly how people were expecting it to.
Gotta say, something feels different, man.
Yeah, like your brain has been drilled. Somebody took about a 12-inch drill bit at the end of an impact driver and just pressed it into your temple until it came out the other end. That might be what changed. I don't know if you guys heard about that. That's something that happened during the dark ages between the OnlyFans Idubbbz Complains and now.
Did we lose the plot somewhere? I miss the old days, but whatever. Keep doing you, I guess. Anyway, peace out. I'm gonna go rewatch some film.
The fact that the greatest the most condensed form of every comment on the content cop is basically just saying, oh, cool, you brought back this thing people have been asking for. It's not how we remembered it or how people enjoyed it. We're gonna go enjoy something else. You know what? If this makes you happy, you know what? Just keep screaming into the void. We're gonna go look at shit that's actually entertaining. So you have fun now. That's the pinnacle of the comment section of the biggest video you've had in years, and that's all people have to say. That's it.
Filthy Frank now. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a big fan of the one comment because I feel like it.
Yeah, because it gives you one moment of clarity. If you think about it critically for half a second, it goes, oh, your brain. You probably like have you're like that scene from Akira. They're like, no, I'm nothing now. No, please.
perfectly encapsulates a comment from like a normie viewer who maybe watched you 5 years ago, but you know, they don't keep up with the drama or anything.
If you should be appealing to the normie viewers at your like base, like if that's what you want, if you want a big video, if you want a video with 2 million views or fucking like however many tons of views that video has, it probably should be appealing to a normie audience that doesn't have like every ounce of detail that's going on. If people like, it's the old, if you did the one comment on Content Cop Keemstar, it would have been unanimously the only thing that would have been in the one comment to rule them all was fuck Keemstar, because it was a good video that got its point across and was convincing. This was a farce. This was a shadow of its former self. And if you're gonna bring back Content Cop, if you're gonna try and piggyback off of your former success, you can't also be like, you know, old fans, you know, they haven't kept up, because you haven't kept up. You haven't been consistent. You've strayed off of what made this big, what made you big, and you've done something different, and people have left you to your devices, but you came back, you brought it back, you had your grand revival, you put the suit back on just to tear it off and do nothing. I don't know, you did nothing with it. You threw the name of the series in the trash can.
When I first started my research on concern trolling, I was trying to find scholars on the topic. I know it hasn't been around for that long, but I'm like, surely there's someone who is well versed in the art of the troll.
Yeah, you, dude. That whole segment at the end of the Content Cop H3 video was a concern troll. It was you realizing that you lost your pinnacle of success on the Content Cop, the skit that would have tied it all together and made you into a big hero. It failed, and you had to turn it into, you had to turn the side of the Rubik's Cube on your video and go, no, I was just worried about him the whole time. I wasn't trying to be an asshole. I wasn't trying to throw his name in the mud and roll around. I was above that. I was standing up tall, I was tightening up my tie, and I was saying, you know, poor Mr. Ethan Klein, I hope you can get better soon. Get well soon. You handed him a get well card. But really, you were snickering behind that get well card going, this guy, I hate this guy. This is just a good bookend to my video so people upvote it. Yes! Yes! Please! Like, come on, dude. You can't be serious with this. This is ridiculous.
He's mastered that art of trolling.
To my surprise, the scholar on this topic is Anita Sarkeesian. Yeah, it's been almost a decade since, like,
it's Gamergate. Let's fucking go. We're back, dude. We're back.
The Gamergate time. And go figure, the white guy 8 years later is like, I think Anita Sarkeesian was kind of onto something. There was a lot of assholes on the internet, and they're...
Trust me, dude, they didn't leave. They did not. We're all still here. We're all still a bunch of gremlins in our parents' basements, just sitting, waiting for the opportunity to jump out and go, bah! Like the boogeyman, dude. We didn't go away. You just, you got your balls snipped off or something. Comical scissors came out while you were standing on top of 2 chairs, squatting halfway. Just snip. Your balls fell into a bucket of water or something to be frozen in time.
They're kind of misogynistic, too, I think. It's crazy what a little CTE or the love of a...
Look at that. Look at that. Even Idubbbz at his fucking, like, greasiest, nastiest back then. Looks like he has way more conviction, way more, something behind those eyes than now. This is a fucking... I don't know. There's even more color in his face. I'm sure he has to have even desaturated this... Like, there's no way he didn't try to at least make himself look better in the new version, because the old version is better. His chin even got weaker. I don't know, something about it. The leafy argument has gotten to him over time. He's become what he sought to destroy.
Woman will do to you.
Unfortunately, that's not the only species of concern troll out there.
That's fucking based. Wait. Let me see that again.
Or the love of a woman will do to you.
Unfortunately,
I like this guy. This guy fucking rules, dude. This guy fucking rules. I like this guy right here. I'm sure this guy has great points. I've seen this guy's tweets before. I know it a million times.
That's not the only species of concern troll out there.
The most obvious definition for concern trolling is when someone is pretending to be concerned about a particular subject or cause.
You know a lot about this. It's almost like you did it. It's almost like you did exactly what you're talking about, man. You're talking about concern trolling like you didn't create the most widely viewed concern troll in decades.
When in reality, they don't give a fuck. They're just doing it to either get attention, start a fight, derail a conversation. To be honest,
that's actually what all three of those are true for the content cop. That's 100% true.
it's very effective. Because back in the day, you could identify someone trolling pretty easily, and you can kind of scroll past it. They'd have a name like Shit is Fuckus, and they would say fake and gay. But nowadays it feels like the average troll is going to give you a paragraph or two, and you will not be able to identify.
This video honestly broke my heart. Not because it was bad, technically it was fine, but because it didn't just feel like you were present. I don't know, maybe I'm projecting, but there was this emptiness behind your eyes. Everyone's been saying it for so long now. Dude, you went on cold ones and you couldn't be funny. Those dudes have exactly the juice that you had back then, and they're still relevant today, and they didn't have to become like a whimpering dog, dude. It's ridiculous. Like, for some reason you can't take the criticism anymore. I don't know if you ever were able to take criticism, or if you just something changed where you became a deny, like I am the GOAT. You got high on your own supply back in the day, back in the Content Cop days, but it's ridiculous to see how unable to take an ounce of criticism that people have given at all.
Straight away if someone is fucking with you or not. Do they hate me? Are they making a point here? Should I rethink my behavior? What the fuck? It seems like they'll oftentimes give you their fan resume to like prove that they're not just some random hater, right? They're not a troll or a hater. They're a fan who's been supporting you since the Kickstarter crap era. They've been supporting you since you made a...
What's wrong with being a fan since then and seeing a change in how you create and hoping that somehow something gets through to you, that people enjoyed that for a reason? Like, it doesn't make sense to just wash it all away like it was all bad. People enjoyed it for a reason. This is why people feel like super disenfranchised from you, because you pretend like it didn't happen, like none of it was good, but it was. People enjoyed it for years. It's fucking ridiculous.
NFT of your ball sack. I've been subscribed since the Overgrowth Let's Plays.
Hello everybody and welcome back to more Overgrowth.
Just want to say that this video really missed the mark. Hope that you can do better. Hope that you can do better is such a great thing to say. It's like, you're a piece of shit. Part of the reason I want to share this is...
You are a piece of shit.
Because I know there are a lot of creators out there who have to deal with this on a regular basis. They have to be the ones to differentiate between authentic and inauthentic. And a lot of the time you just gotta fucking flip a coin or just ignore it outright. And it's really easy to say, like, I would handle that really well because my policy is to not give a shit about any of it. But obviously, if you do want to have some sort of relationship with your audience or the internet in general, you do have to give some percentage of attention to what's being said online.
Okay, then why aren't you doing that? Then why aren't you taking... Okay, if 98% of those comments are people just being dickheads and assholes, why aren't you listening to the 2% then? It doesn't make sense. You haven't taken any of it in. You've just become what you thought people would like, what you thought people wanted to see, and you've become a complete sellout at this point, and you're not even making money off of it. You're losing money. It's sad. It's fucking sucks to see.
That's going to be different for everyone. Now, some people might be worried that I'm giving new strategies to all the trolls out there, but don't worry, they already know these strategies. This is kind of like I think this is in all of us, right? Like, if you want some attention, you're going to figure out a way.
Come on, man.
to get the attention. If you want to fuck with people, you'll figure out how to fuck with people. This isn't like some secret sauce, really. There's a few different strategies of dealing with concerned trolls. You can obviously, you know, try to look into their post history, and if they don't come across as credible, if all their post history is wiped, then you can just say, I'm gonna err on the side of you're trolling me. When I listen to Tim Pool, he has like a little bit of a theory on, you know, the left versus right and who is doing more concern trolling.
The right has their concern trolls, but it's rare. It rarely happens. On the left, it's endless because people like Patton Oswalt don't care about principle.
Now, I don't fully buy into what Tim Pool is selling here. You can kind of look at the political spectrum as like a spectrum of concern, and people on the left seem to be generally more concerned than people on the right. You can say that people on the right are mostly concerned about themselves. That might be like a fair assessment. If you're somewhere over here where Tim Pool's at, all you gotta do to concern troll him is take one step to the left. That's it. I think concern trolling is in the eye of the beholder. With this example, you have Tim Pool thinking that Patton Oswalt is being concern trolled by his audience, or a portion, maybe like a small segment of people.
This is what happens when you fall for this stuff. Patton Oswalt falls for it. He is a weak man.
But Patton Oswalt doesn't feel that way. You know, he sees it as authentic concern, which is why he addresses it in this Instagram post. By the way,
in an Instagram post. Honestly, I don't know anything about Tim Pool. I just know there's a really funny picture of him wearing like a beanie while he's in a suit. I thought that was pretty good. I forget where it was, like pulled up on a fucking Diorio stream or something, but it was pretty good. That's all I know about Tim Pool. And some shit about him being like bought out by something. I don't know. This just seems stupid. I don't get it.
The concern is basically just people were uncomfortable with his association with Dave Chappelle because Dave Chappelle did some transphobic or said some transphobic shit. But Tim Pool has such a fucking low emotional IQ that he doesn't realize it isn't a big deal to listen to what other people are saying and like adjust your behavior. It's all up to our own fucking discretion, right? Like if you aren't to the point, Tim, where, you know, you don't want to apologize for fucking anything, which by the way, it seems like that's a theme on your podcast, is basically saying like, I'm not a problem. But acting like that's the way the rest of the world needs to operate, it's like, I think Patton Oswalt is doing just fine operating the way he's operating.
Wallow in it. Okay, Patton Oswalt? Never tell an offensive joke again. Never cross the line again. Good luck trying to figure out where that line is. Good luck.
Dude, Tim Pool, just take off your beanie. Shut up.
You won't find it. You give in to the concern trolls, and you will never work again.
It's so fucking funny, too, because Patton Oswalt has been doing comedy since Tim Pool was in fucking diapers. What the fuck are we talking about? Can we please, like, I don't know. It feels like people like Tim Pool love to appeal to, like, authority all the time. In this scenario, can we please appeal to authority or acknowledge that this guy has tremendous authority over you in the world of comedy?
Unless you think comedy is saying, like, I went to a Jewish bakery the other day. They had bagels. Really good, really impressed with it. That's the comedy you're headed for. That's the joke South Park made, and even South Park has started pulling its punches. Let me tell you about the real world, my friends. Get woke, go broke.
One of the reasons that I'm bringing this up is because after the Content Cop, I noticed a huge influx of concern trolls. They're trying to impact...
It's not concern trolling if people are coming back for your first big video in years to tell you what they don't like about it. It's not like an over 100% of those comments that are negative are all fucking with you, dude. That's just not possible. People can just not like what you did. It didn't feel like a Content Cop. You put on the suit, you ran around in the woods, but there were no funny skits. There was nothing comedic about it. It was just it just felt like boring. And even if it wasn't boring, you should have at least had a good point. And none of the points felt worthwhile. It felt like concern trolling. When you flipped it all in the end and turned it into he just needs to get some help. Ethan just needs some help. It completely undermined the idea of a Content Cop. Why'd you even make it a Content Cop if you didn't just want a billion views and to be able to hope to get some nice comments, but when you got mean comments, you go, They're concern trolling me. They're fucking with me. I don't suck. You're like rubbing your head. You're like, I don't suck. I don't. No. I don't suck. I'm cool. They told me I'm cool, dude. Stop it. You're lying to me. You're trolling me.
Hacked things in the real world. They're trying to, you know, make people crash out, as I was kind of indicating in my video. But
nobody wants anybody to crash out, dude. This is dude, it looks like a crash out to be making this video in response to it. It seems like you're responding real negatively to people responding negatively. It's you're literally responding to the comments when you were talking about earlier how if you see an account, okay, let me put this in Idubbbz' words. If you see an account that has like a cleared comment history, was created a year ago, doesn't have many posts, you should just be able to disregard it. Then do that. Why are you making this response video if it didn't get to you and it doesn't feel like legitimate criticism? If none of this feels like it was real and it was all concern trolling, then why can't you just block out the haters like you supposedly have been doing for the longest time? You're fucking up your own point, man. It's sad, honestly.
I will say, one of the concern trolls was super fucking obvious to me. They came into the Discord. I'll read you what they put so you can kind of get a vibe for what a concern troll might sound like. Now, this comment is in reference to me saying that I think he needs a good ass whooping. What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs. They say, just being for real, this line in the video was pretty strange.
Yeah, okay, I pre-watched this video, and this is ridiculous. Going into the Discord to be like a pussy is retarded. That's the kind of people you can effectively ignore. But by making this video, you're kind of throwing the net over everything. Because you may be bringing up really good, actually stupid fucking points that people were saying, but you're ignoring and writing off everything else of criticism that people were talking about, while also being a concern troll in your own video. It's ironic, obviously.
Red flag number 1. At worst, it's a call for physical assault. At best, it's very toxic masculinity-esque. It just comes across as parody, right? This was literally no one's concern ever. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs. Either way, it doesn't seem to align with Ian's mentality towards being more progressive and against harassment. You see what I mean? It's trying to like insert like a little seed of doubt. Whoa, you might have been irresponsible here. You might need to take accountability for what you've put out on the internet. Never mind the point that you were making in the video. I think you need to repent for your call to violence. I don't think any creator should make that kind of statement unless they have a very good reason to do so, morally speaking. Because you never know what one of your fans might do. It's quite dangerous. I mean, to someone who hasn't been through the ringer of concern trolling, I'm sure this could, like, upset or confuse someone, but this is just fucking drivel. I honest to God just think his vid and the whole intention would have been better without that in it. I don't see why he said that. Ugh. Of course, this is a new user to our Discord, so no post history. So we gotta get creative. You reverse search the username, and you find that they have a Twitter. Their Twitter is suspended. The Blue Sky account, though, has tweets like, so
if they're on Blue Sky, you already know that their brain is broken, dude. You don't have to. You could have stopped at they have a Blue Sky account. It's fucking over. You don't need to worry about it. It's a write-offable person.
How long until Destiny gets banned from this app? Hashtag DGG. Hashtag Daliban. Hashtag Destiny. Tankies are already terrified of arriving Daliban forces. Following back all liberals. Hashtag DGG. Now, the reason that these posts are relevant is because Destiny is quite famous for saying very unhinged, offensive shit, and he doesn't really seem to care that much about it.
Don't pretend like you care about mental health or any of that cringe shit. Just be based. Tell people to kill themselves. Make fun of people who are on SSRIs. Make fun of people who have depression or anxiety or GD. Just do that. Just embrace the I can't say.
That's based. That's true. Destiny's a fucking weirdo, but that's epic. People should kill themselves.
The words on stream anymore. All the slurs and everything you used to. Just do that. Go full in on it.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I don't think this user is actually worried about the language I'm using. I don't think that they're concerned about me being toxic masculinity-esque.
Trust me, dude, nobody has any legitimate concern that you're masculine. It's okay. I know this one got to you, so you had to bring it up on the video. And it was a psychopath. It was a fucking weirdo posting that. They have a Blue Sky account. It's 1 + 1 = 2 at this point. But nobody in good faith thinks you are masculine, Idubbbz. It's okay. Your gold tooth doesn't make you look like a cool ass pirate. It makes you look like you're the bottom bitch in prison.
Make fun of people who are on SSRIs.
And I kind of don't think that they're worried about a call to violence. I actually think that they wouldn't mind me doing a call to violence.
Tell people to kill themselves.
They actually might even be encouraged by a call to violence, if I had to guess, you know. I can only speculate based on #Daliban, which is just some racist Twitter group. Ultimately, concern trolling is just saying something in bad faith. It's very similar to tone policing or sea lioning. But I didn't really want to talk about those because those feel different to me for some reason. Specifically sea lioning. That shit isn't even intuitive.
Sea lioning is a type of trolling or harassment that consists of pursuing people with relentless requests for evidence, often tangential or previously addressed, while maintaining a pretense of civility and sincerity. Yeah, I think you're pulling up like the most obscure shit. I've never heard of this. This is weird.
You know, I've looked.
Tone policing though, that is more legitimate than sea lioning. Tone policing does seem pretty fucking gay.
Looked it up, I think 3 times now, and I still don't fucking. I mean, I get it. I just can't recall it easily. So, in my mind, that means it's stupid. It's not working. I can't bust it out in the middle of a heated argument and say, "You're sea lioning me." See? It's because you grew whiskers in the middle of this debate. That means you're sea lioning me. You started flapping your arms and going, "Oh, oh, oh." Therefore, you're sea lioning. I mean, there you go. It feels like 2 people getting into a shouting match is more an accurate descriptor of sea lioning than whatever the fuck it is. I think the least problematic part of being a concern troll is them taking a moderate position, potentially. Because at that point, you're just being a party pooper. Or like a killjoy. A buzzkill. Like, we're familiar with these types of people. They're just constantly reeling people in because they're worried that they're using, like, too crazy a rhetoric, or they're getting a little too excited, right? And I think we all could use people in our life.
That's what you did for the entirety of the back portion of the content cop, is sit there and be like, you know, I just think he needs to calm down. I think he needs some therapy. I think what really needs to happen is he needs to take a step back and work on himself for a little bit. And that's really all we're here for. I'm going to have these people who have told Ethan that he should die, that like we hate him, and whose fans have bloodlust for him. I'm going to get them to say that they think he's funny. Because we're the good guys. We're the good guys because we said something nice at the end of the video that was completely targeting and maliciously made and had to be construed at the last second into something positive. But no. This was always altruistic. This was always something so cool. We were always being nice. I don't get why he's so mean. He's so mean because we were so nice. I don't get it. He's crashing out. He needs help. He needs therapy. He must be on drugs.
Lives to like reel us in a bit. The aspect of concern trolling that bothers me the most is the role-playing aspect. There isn't really a lot of incentive to not be anonymous online. There are some people out there who've made the unconscious choice.
You're role-playing as a human being while you're really a homunculi made from a Russian man's semen injected into an egg. That's all you truly are. Idubbbz behind that human-shaped mask of yours.
To be like, my online profile is just an extension of who I am in the real world. And then there are all the people who consciously decide to stay anonymous. Now, for some of these people, it's just like, I want to be safe and I really don't want to take that plunge. Fair enough. But then there are the people who are like, not only am I not going to be myself, I'm going to be someone else. You know, I'm going to be someone else so that I could fuck with this community of people. Now, every time I see these...
That's a fucking funny account. Shit is fuckus. That's funny. I like that. I like that a lot. Because well, I mean, you can pretty obviously tell who they're fucking with, but it's pretty good. It's fucking Chungus and Trump in front of explosions and shit. It's retarded on purpose. I like it.
Characters, the image that pops in my mind.
I hope it's on purpose, because if this is some legitimate person who thinks this is a good, like, troll account. Yeah, they're from Thailand. They got the fucking... That's a lady boy. This is a lady boy. This is a real account.
It's not like, oh, like you're a clever, smart guy who has infiltrated the opposing faction. You're like the spy in Team Fortress 2. It's like, no, that is a fantasy. What you actually are is you're like Steven Crowder in a wig at a women's only event.
That's a lady right now. That's a woman right there. Goddamn.
Thinking that they're making some kind of grand point.
Hi, I'm Stephanie with all the frequencies of feminism, and I am here at the Women's...
What shade of pink is it, Stephanie? I know it's pink. I just need to know what shade it is, please.
March in Austin.
We quickly found out that nobody questions, criticizes, nor runs...
Did they give you a swatch of pinks to select from on the operating table?
Security background checks on trannies.
Hands up our puppies!
The reason someone like Steven Crowder gets into this position is not because of his cunning. It's because people are like, oh, you're a fucking weirdo freak. I'm staying, 20 feet away from you at all times. Or I'm going to be a very non-judgmental person.
Is that how people looked at you at TanaCon, Idubbbz? Is that why you're upset at people going to public things and making a scene to be an asshole? Because you've been there, you've done that, you know what it's about, and you know if it's done well, it's profitable. If it's done cringy, you become Steven Crowder.
And
no, you regret that. You regret it now. You regret TanaCon, so that you were Steven Crowder back then. You believe that.
I'm not going to ask any questions about whatever you got going on here.
We could get away with anything. Go anywhere, act any way we wanted, and we were really able to learn what today's progressive issues are all about.
And I guess in this case, it's a massive own. He's proven that people are tolerant of him. Having said that, I think we can end this video on a positive note. I'm proposing that fucking with people might be a way for some of these concern trolls to indulge in things and lifestyles that they never thought were possible. Because
you get to pretend that you've actually gained empathy at the age of 37. Finally, you get to pretend that shit's sweet, that you've gained empathy, you've leveled up, you've become a good person in the eyes of the Lord. Hassan Piker and Ethan just needs help, man. He just needs our help. I'm starting a new boxing fight. I'm starting a new boxing card to get Ethan Klein in therapy and his kids at CPS so they're getting all the help they can get. I'm starting the new next move, and I'm going to make sure this guy that I made an hour and a half or 90-minute long hit piece on, I'm going to make sure he gets the help he needs.
They're so
golly gee whiz, it feels so good to be nice.
Opposed to them. So by pretending to be the very thing that you hate, you might actually gain some sympathy, or you might be like, oh, actually, the people in this community I kind of fuck with. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Idubbbz Complains. I hope you enjoyed watching. I will put a Patreon link down below. I'm still cooking on what needs to be uploaded there, so don't expect content on there straight away.
Come on now, give me all that money on the Patreon. You'll get something eventually. You'll get podcast clips that get leaked to the public because they're so ridiculously stupid. All my trolls, go on follow the Patreon so that when I post something completely fucking retarded, it's going to get clipped, sent to Twitter, and everyone's going to see it for free anyway.
Okay. Thank you for all of your kind comments down below. I know that they're all going to be kind, just singular kind words like you rock, go you go, and shit like that.
He's right. He's right. I am going to say you rock. He does rock. He rocked my world like a hurricane. He did it, guys. That's fucking awesome. Thank the Lord for Senior Idubbbz. He's come back. You know what? We're back. We're back, guys. You know, the content cop era is over. We're back to Idubbbz Complains. This not at all was not a third follow-up on the initial video, but this time just straight up responding to the fact that he got hate comments. There was no reason that I made a video about my comments being really mean to me and saying I used to be better than I am now. It's all just fun and games. It's all, I just, this topic came at the top of my head. I saw Tim Pool calling Patton Oswalt gay or something, and I thought, you know what? It's about damn time somebody says something about this. Because I would never be accused of doing exactly what I'm making a video of right now. And since I made a video condemning concern trolling, it would be ridiculous for you to accuse me of doing such a thing, because I'm completely against that. I don't think people should be pretending that they're concerned about somebody when they're really not, in a malicious way. That would be harmful. That would be very mean and rude. So instead, we're just going to have to make a cool video and make sure that all these mean comments know that they're doing nothing to me. I'm not affected by all these concern trolls. It doesn't do a damn thing to me because I'm above that. I'm better than that, and I don't believe him not one bit. It's just sad, man. It's just sad to see that this is what it's become. Because it's so easy for me, a retarded guy, to at least somewhat pick this apart. I can't even imagine what somebody with a brain is going to be able to do with this. Like, it shouldn't be this easy. That's all I'm going to say. And, I mean, I saw the dumbass guy saying mean shit in the chat. I don't really care. I had fun doing this. And, I'm going to head out. Thank you guys for watching for this little something or other. And I will be back to say something really